Nah, we're live.
Hey, thanks, Brett. If you'd done that on podcast, Bianca would have felt better.
What?
I don't care.
Huh?
The podcast, he had us live and we didn't know it.
Oh, yeah, well, we weren't live. We were, that's not live.
Well, he's recording it, so
Yeah,
it just
that's
goes
not
up.
live,
But
though.
he just puts it up.
Well, that's not live, though. It's pre-recorded.
It's like, what's meditated murder when you plan it?
That's premeditated.
Yeah, premeditated.
Oh.
I don't know
So
what
our
meditated murder is.
podcast wasn't premeditated. It was just bam. It happened. Right, Brett?
Yes.
Because you just had us turn the mic turned on. We didn't know.
Yep. Yep.
So they got to heard our behind the scenes smack talk.
No, they didn't. They don't hear that.
Because it's
But
not
it's
live.
recorded. You just have to put it on the internet, right?
But I won't put that on the internet. That's correct. Yes, you're correct. But I'm not going to put that on the internet.
I will
Yeah.
put it on there.
Okay, I
Let's see
can.
what I put up with.
If you want to use it, yeah, let's use it.
I think people will be like, damn, we go back from work.
We'll post it then.
Well,
It's live.
like bananas and oranges.
Paula Smith
No,
said
they'll
hi.
be like, man, Bianca's just on management all the time.
Paula Smith says hello.
Hi, Paula.
Paula Smith.
Talos, the doodle.
Hi.
Hey, did the bear hoodies come in?
They're here
You
in
know,
the
I
back of
heard
my car.
rumor of that. I
Oh.
paid for them.
Oh.
We picked them up.
The bear
And I
hoodies are
haven't
here.
seen them.
They
I have
arrived
not
today.
seen them since they
I
got
haven't
in the
seen
car.
them at all.
I think Brett has control of them.
Wow, what's
That's what I
that
heard.
about?
I got them.
I'll probably never get mine.
I heard they were in the back of his car when he left the scene at the kennels.
Oh,
This is
man.
true.
So if anybody ordered sweat hoodies with Marvin or with Bear on them, get over Brett.
Yeah, get hold of Brett. Good luck.
Yeah, you know how to contact him. What's the name of your business?
Brett Curtis Photography.
Yeah,
There you go. I was going to say, don't say
find him. Email him, text him, say, hey, order my hoodie.
Chase me down.
If you bought one, if you didn't buy one, you can order one. So,
You're a minute in.
thank you, Brett.
I'm not a whole lot of production.
Don't we talk about the hoodies this year?
We don't need to.
You got Kathy Morrison. Kathy Morrison says, hi, guys.
Kathy
PJ
and
is
hi.
watching.
Kathy and Pie, the Malinois.
Malinois named Pie.
Yes.
We trained it.
No. She's been to an obedience clinic and one stock dog session.
Oh, that cat. Okay.
Yeah.
Her dog name's Pie,
Yes. 3.14.
like P-I-E.
Yeah. Goes on and on and on and on.
Huh. All right.
Paul Smith says, yes, we did.
Get what?
They ordered a bear hoodie.
Oh, good job. Brett has it, I heard. I know he had it because I was with him when he picked it up.
Do have it.
So, we didn't order very many bear hoodies. Well, just pre-orders, right? And a couple extra ones.
Yeah.
But we're going to do another order. We need to do more dogs, so instead of just one or two. We need to do like lots of dogs. I think we got to gear up for the big expo next year. Start buying a few extra ones and putting them up.
Kathy Morrison.
We'll sell
Sorry.
them.
Sorry.
We'll have them.
Sorry.
So, Bianca, what are we going to talk about? You said you had a plan of talking about dogs relaxing or being bored.
Oh, I was thinking today when we were at the river, we had Ryder, which is Mariah's dog, and Finn, a Rhodesian, and those two dogs were so bored at the river. They were laying down, they were soaking up the sun, and they could care less about all the dogs that were walking by. Finn, when he first got out of the car, was very intrigued by the squirrels. We had a slight malfunction, but he regrouped pretty quickly. But after that, he just was laying down and relaxing, and he was bored. And that sometimes hurts people when the dogs are bored.
Just want to say something so bad, but I'm waiting.
Are you okay?
No, what a minute.
And I just think it's so misunderstood how valuable it is to have a dog that is so relaxed that no matter what's happening, cars going by, squirrels, dogs walking by, dogs getting out of the car barking and crying, that your dog doesn't care and is uninterested in it because they're relaxed. And how hard that is because people want dogs to have things to do. They want to take them to run 1,000,000 miles an hour. And both of these dogs get to run a lot every day. They get to play with other dogs. They get to go do fun things. So don't quote me and say that I think dogs should be bored all the time. I think
Yeah, they
dogs
get
should
trained
get to go
on
have
too,
fun.
to some degree.
I know, but because of the training, they're bored when they're working. It's just simple to them now to just relax.
For me, I go on to that is the fact that they're so well trained when they're with us,
Mm-hmm.
and they can relax.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that's what's really hard on people, especially like, nowadays nobody really. Back in the day, I remember somebody was worried that my people in my clinics was going to be upset because their dogs laid around so much. But you've got some good video today of how many dogs were just chilling while we were talking, waiting 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
The dogs, they didn't have to get up and start pacing and dancing.
We try to teach them not to do that, not to
teach them just to relax whenever we ask them to relax, so they can learn to relax. Humans like me, it took me like a lot of years to learn to be able to relax, and now I relax.
I don't know if you've really learned that yet.
Huh? What did you say?
Huh?
I can relax now.
Not on command.
Well, I'm tired.
The dogs are better trained than you, is what I'm saying.
But it's just hard for people to understand that a dog should be able to, and they can, just lay there.
And how good of a thing it is
And
that
then
the dogs just lay down and don't even care what's happening.
And they enjoy it. And that's what I try to tell people a lot of times when we train. Because if you're walking in town and you find a grassy spot on a bench, you ought to be able to sit down and you ought to lay down on your feet and go to sleep.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have to just be like eyes looking everywhere. Well, I guess depending on where you're sitting. But ideally, you should be able to sit and relax without your dog just being jumpy every time the leaf rattles or a leaf blows or a squirrel goes by,
Yeah.
And it's really hard for a lot of times for people to get to that point with their dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that our group walk that we offer in town is free for our clients.
Almost every week.
Yeah, and it's so good for those dogs to go there. And what's fun is the dogs like, was that Henry there today?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he is so good, but he just like, he doesn't care, If he's on a leash, she might walk out in front of mom, and she might make him mind, and then if I pick on her, then she might. And like today, she made him feel really well.
No
done
color.
really good. Yeah, and he done really good.
Yeah.
But she just had to ask him, and he goes, okay, if that's what we're going to do, that's what we're going
And
to do.
she never puts him on a leash. He lives on property, so he gets to go off leash all the time. And he's great off leash, but she comes to this just to make sure
tune
he
up
stays
on it,
good on the leash.
Yeah, and that's the
Hangs
thing.
out with their dog.
Yeah, people don't do with their dogs, and sometimes people think they have to take their dogs to the dog park. Wrong, I don't agree with that. I think that you should find somebody that your dog can go hang out with.
Yeah.
The dogs that are well trained and the people that make your dog mind and let your dog go play.
Yeah.
Or if you can, do the Save Dogs Free thing here on Saturday. But there's so many times when people, I think, hurt worse by the dog not being able to go play with a pack of dogs. It hurts the human worse than it hurts the dog.
Well, I want the dogs to get to go play too, but all of our personal dogs, you can take them to town and walk them on a leash and have them lay down and relax. Side doesn't really lay down, but he knows sit. He could sit and chill. But you can also open the gates and let him fall before we learn, run 100 miles an hour and play and romp in the woods and then come
and they'll
back.
quit like that, though.
Go back into their kennels, lay down, and take a nap.
So I think that's the hardest thing is sometimes for people. And I was talking to maybe a couple different people today about it. They just get their dog on a bungee where it just walks in front, they pull it back, walks front, pull it, walks front, pull it, walks front, pull it back. Just on and on and on and on.
Rather than creating the boundaries that they can't walk
build a
out.
wall, they can't go through it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, so I come with a lot of bricks down there and put a wall up and stand behind it, but it's an imaginary wall that your dog has to stay behind, and he can't be out there past that until he's invited to, you know. And for me, I say it's not that hard, but you know, you take, for me, compare, like, we had Finn here a while back. He's what, I don't even know, 80, 90 pounds at Rhodesian. And he would drag you down when he came in.
Bad, yeah.
And for me to fix him to where he would heal for me pretty well, didn't take very long.
No.
But running through gates took a while. So he just kept fighting and fighting and fighting.
And he was really wicked smart on if you were tuned in or not.
Yeah,
like
if you weren't paying gone.
If I was checking an email and I opened a gate at the same time, he'd be like, "She ain't paying attention. I walked through the gate. See you later."
And it's just like,
and I'd be like, "Crap, I gotta get him back and work through it again."
And he got, you know, at last he would still kind of do it to me if I wasn't just watch.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't have to be like,
you
okay,
didn't even
I'm
have
ready.
to physically control him by the end. You just needed to be training on
Yeah,
him. You
just
need to
make
open
sure
your gate
that he understood I'm not
Yeah.
running through the gate.
Yeah.
And for him, it was a lot different because you couldn't just let him run through a gate like we do our packs. We let a lot of our pack dogs just run through the gate, and they know the difference whether they're training or not.
Right.
Finn didn't know the difference. He's
No,
like, I'm
so
running.
every time we took him out with the pack, we had to work with him from gate to gate
Yes.
and let the other dogs go because he just.
But that's what
Hard time
makes
with that.
him so cool, where he can lay down there at the edge of the river and relax with Ryder and not care.
Yeah.
Milo was a little different.
Yeah.
But at the end, Milo would lay around and chill too.
He did? Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just, I think he had a little bit of energy he needed to burn.
Yeah.
And he was super excited to be there because he knew his pack of dogs and we were there. And,
Yeah.
you know, but then they said they're going to come every week. But that's the way you make him better, you know, is by coming there. And,
Well, it's kind of, it's like the place command. When Finn came in, he knew the place command, but not to our standard.
yeah, he
If
just
we
didn't
place
have
a dog, it's like, no, you're placing there until we ask you to get up. And if you get up, that's a mistake and we're going to correct it.
Yes.
That we hold them to. A lot of people, their dog, they will say their dog knows the place command and they feel confident that their dog knows the place command, but their dog knows to go get on the dog bed, and if you get off, the person asks them to go back. If you get off, the person asks them to go back.
Yeah.
But it's
There's
just
no
this,
consequences for getting off.
yeah. Yeah.
It's just I'll talk to you.
And then they never learn to go to place, lay down, stay there
Stay.
for a good while, like hours of just laying around doing nothing, no matter what's happening. The one day Heather and I were training, I had just taught Cy place that day. Finn was on place and Georgia was on place, and the doorbell rang. Heather went and answered the door, brought a dog in or took a dog out, I can't remember, and all three of those dogs stayed on place while there's so much commotion.
Yeah,
going on.
and it's
that's
just
totally
repetition.
reasonable to
Yes.
expect of your dog.
That's what they asked for Finn today when he left, if Finn could be able to place when people came in. And I think, well, I don't think I know for a fact that people come here, and I'm not going to get on my soapbox. Bianca's just waiting for me to blow up on this person that pissed me off. I'm going to stay off of that subject tonight. But there's so many times when people see their dogs do so well for Bianca or I, or Mariah now too, and Heather so too, that even when they come in, you know, for a lesson and we see their dog coming in and we get the leash the dog, like, okay, I'll behave now. And the reason normally that the dogs don't do that for the people when they take them home is they throw them to the sharks, you know, I call it. They go home and walk them right out in the neighborhood where all the chaos was, or they invite 15 friends over for a watch football game and leave their dog loose, you know, and they don't set their dog up to win, you know, by walking their dog in their house, walking their dog in their yard. Like Gabe said, he's doing a lot of it. He's training his dog right there at his own, around his own house. Then he's venturing out, and he's coming back and training next day, and then he's venturing out, and he's making his dog walk in the house now. It don't just bust through the front door because it's home. And we ask people to do that when they take their dogs home, and they can do what they want. They own a dog, they pay us for our services, and some of the people, when they go home, they really want to dissect our program, and they can. It's their dog, it's their money.
And some people it works.
Yeah, very rarely, but once in a while it does work. But I think sometimes maybe, and I don't want to say this too much because people start doing it, it's a matter of what did you dissect when you went home.
Right.
Did you let the dog sleep on the bed? Or was it just the dog placed and seen you for a while, I think it was Gabe today, I said a real good drill for anybody's dog if they want to do it, is when you come in the house, if you have room, you have your little piece of carpet laying there by the door and your dog gets on it and stays right there until he dries off, or you towel his feet off, or whatever you want to do, and you don't get up until you ask him. You can always do that. That's a real good drill for your dogs too. But I think sometimes the people takes the training and make it not fun, and so then they don't do enough of it.
Or they get stuck on this one technique or this skill or a certain part of the actual training, and they miss that the whole regimen is what makes the technique easier.
I remember when you got bored with scouts training and went back to trying to teach him tricks, and they would backfire on you.
Yeah.
And you would come and be like, hey, I taught Scout a trick. And I'm like, how's it going? It's like, not good. Now every time I lean over, he jumps on my back. Remember that one?
Yeah, piggyback.
Yeah. And so I think but now you can just stop one of those. If you start it, you can just cut it and say, this ain't working, you can stop.
Yeah.
But back then, you didn't listen to me. You still don't a lot of times, but you listen better, more often, I guess. But
I listen about the important stuff.
Yeah.
Everything else I don't.
But it's just really so complicated for people to just have I may be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong on this. I think Gabe was talking about having just a routine of training, like he does at work. You have, like here, every night when you close, you have to check e-collar, check water buckets, check gate latches, check door latches, yada, 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 check the dogs, count the dogs, yada, yada, yada. It gets to where that's not real hard because that is your routine.
Yeah.
But when you let your dog out of that crate in the morning, if that's what you do, and you let him do cartwheels and backflips, then you've already made a mistake.
Yeah.
But if you get your dog out and you put his tools on, and you put his leash on, and you walk him to the back door, and you step him through the door, and you make him wait, and you let him go potty, then you're setting up a routine of training. And then if you really, didn't know how much you want to follow through, when you call him back to that back door, you put your leash on him and you walk him in the house, and you either put him in a crate and feed him if you do, or you take him to place and feed him, and you make him wait, and you let him take a bite or two on command, and you ask him to wait, and you got to stop. And there's so many routines. One of these days I get bored, I might write up here's your routine. You want a routine for a day? Here you go. And the routine could really work, I don't know, I pick on people a little bit about, you get up at, let's say, 6 in the morning, and, you leave for work at 7, and you get home at 5, and, that's kind of sometimes a day, that's 10 hours a day that you're gone to work and on the way home, so an hour to work, 8-hour shift, an hour home, 10 hours. So for me, that leaves you, 14 hours in your day? What the hell do you do? If you live in an apartment and you don't go do a lot of sports and stuff, you might, bless you, you might have a tendency, bless you, to watch a lot of TV or be on a computer a lot or whatever you're doing, But if you have that 14 hours off of work at home, man, what a great dog you can make if you would learn to do, kind of like Kay does now with her dogs. She really trains on them a little bit, but they don't get to be crazy all the time.
Well, we were talking to somebody about it the other day. It's so much more the small things than it is your 30 minutes of, okay, I'm going to take the dog out and I'm going to train on the dog. That 30 minutes can just go in the garbage.
Yeah.
If you let it bust through the door every morning, you let it bust through the door every night, you let it bark at you to demand dinner, you let it push your husband away from you on the couch. You can throw away your group class, your private training sessions, if your whole day has all these little things where you let your dog be disrespectful, you let your dog get away with not listening, you let your dog free range the house all day, have total freedom, and just let them make their own choices all day.
Somebody here a while back, I don't remember for sure who it was, and I'm not going to throw names at them anyway. Well, I remember who it is, but they drove up with their dog doing backflips and cartwheels in their vehicle, wanting to get out and do their group walk. I'm like, what are you thinking? What? I'm like, your dog's around 440 when he got here, instead of being in a little crate in your car, laying down, taking a nap.
If it's the person I'm thinking of, that person told another client today that they really recommend getting the crate and how much the crate helped them because the dog was able to relax in the car ride to the place.
Yeah, and when I get to the place, I might spend 20 minutes making my dog settle down before he gets out of the car.
If my dog doesn't settle down, I might put him back in the car and go do something else for
I
a
might
minute.
jump him in and out of that car 45 times.
Yeah.
He'll be like, shit, I'll just go for a walk and be good. I'll be like, hey, that's a good idea. If you want, we'll go for a walk. Yeah. If not, we'll get in and out of the car some more. We'll lay down, we'll get up, we'll walk backwards. I don't care.
Sometimes Scout sounds like a dying cat when we're almost to the vineyard. In those days, I just quit getting him out. And then when he's quiet, I'm like, oh, you want to go say hi to Aunt Janice and go romp around the vineyard for a minute? But sometimes he sounds like a dying cat, and I'm like, I'm not getting him out.
And it's just, there's so many people that thinks that's so unfair, And for me, it's like he knows why he didn't get out.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, he probably doesn't do that. He's like, oh, this will be good so I can get out and go hang out, But for me,
I don't even think about it whether it's fair or not. I think, well, what am I doing to my dog if I reward him?
Yeah, let him
after
let
he just streamed up Calvin's Lane. Like, what does that do for him? It just rewards that
behavior,
frantic behavior. Yeah.
And for me, it's like I tell people, I can't imagine. Well, Jody used to haul her dog Rio, and she did Trin too in the backseat of the pickup. She still has her own four-door Dodge, 03 or whatever. But they rode the back seat. But you know what? They didn't run a pace. They laid down in there on their blanket and they stayed there.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter. We went from here to Otel, Washington, here to Montana. My dogs were in the back in dog boxes, but her dogs were on the back seat. And it behaved. I mean, it didn't bounce off the walls and run back and forth, and try to get out the windows. And Jody, when we stopped eat, she'd always take a little piece of French fry or a steak or whatever we was eating that day. She'd take a little piece and roll it up in a napkin. Sometimes she forgot, but most of the time when she got back to the truck, she would open up and give it to Trin. And that dog didn't flip out and try to eat her fingers and demand more. And it didn't demand more when we got down the road 20 miles and stopped to use the bathroom and got in the truck. It wasn't I want my food, I want food. Well, if they have something, they'll offer it to me. If they don't, they don't,
Yeah.
But I think that those dogs got good exercise too, I mean, they were on the farm. But still, Jody would leave Rio or Trin in the house sometimes 10, 12 hour a day at loose, And don't go doing this to your dog unless they're really well mannered. But Trin never got in trouble. And when Jody got home, she opened the door. Trin was happy to see her. Jody would pet her, tell her hi, and Trin ran out and go potty and stuff. And come back and do whatever, But it wasn't that Trin never felt like she was entitled to something to cause her to get in trouble. She was just a nice, well-trained, well-mannered dog, and she worked, but she worked cattle and, I don't know, sheep and goats, chickens or whatever. But there's so many people that just feel bad for their dogs not getting to do this and not getting to do that. And even with our training program, to me, I mean, and I'm pretty sure most dogs, not all dogs, because we get some pre-owner dogs, majority of the dogs, if the people will follow our routine for 3 or 4 months, they'll be amazed what their dogs can do at 5 or 6 months for the rest of their life. But I don't know. 3 months to most people is like the end of the world to be here, and they can't.
Or people get so stuck on how many days do I have to do this for because they can't wait to get rid of the rules and structure and boundaries. And then some people throw it all away too quickly, and then they have a relapse.
Yeah, and they bring their dog back into the trailer.
Yeah.
And you know, we have a lot of people that do refreshers with us, and it's not because they're terrible with their dog. They just don't follow what we recommend. And they're okay with that because they're going to board them anyway. Some of them going on vacation. They pay us the extra money to train on them while they're here, take them to town, whatever, you know. And
well, I was talking to somebody the other day. I haven't done shit with my dogs this winter. I didn't train on them. They went out and played. They had rules. They had kennel time. They got exercise. But I don't know when the last time I put a leash on Scout was. Maybe a clinic. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I'm just as human and not training on my dogs, but I never just threw away all the rules and said, hey, let's go get a pup cup every day and you can have everything you want, and I'm going to throw away all the rules and all the boundaries.
Yeah, and he lays around when we do lessons and stuff and watches, you know, and it's just, I don't know, it's just really hard on people to understand that your dog can have all these rules, have this leader up here, and they're down there, and you can still have a great life. They think if you're up here and you're a leader, then you don't have your baby, and so you all aren't doing everything together.
I don't even know that for some people, it's not even that they need it for their dog. It's that they need it for them. Like
I tell people every day,
have to do these things for their dog, otherwise it hurts them.
The dogs
it's not
are
like
easy.
they're even worried about the dog.
The people are hard.
Yeah.
Brett, you got any questions on Facebook?
Yeah, we do. We got Paula Smith says Talos has been more relaxed since we've started moving into our new house.
That's good.
The fire truck was across the street. He checked it out and remained calm.
Oh, good.
Kathy Morrison says not pie, Marvin.
Said what?
Not pie, Marvin.
Did she say not pie, P-I-E?
Yeah, P-I-E.
I get it.
So it's P.I.
I get it, yeah.
Sorry, Pi. Yeah.
Kathy Morrison also says, question, were the dogs lying on the concrete or on the grass? Just curious.
Blacktop, parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't even care. They were just chilling.
Yeah.
So, I don't think the dogs always.
Well, the blacktop was warm.
Yeah, it was really nice.
And the grass was dewy.
Yeah.
So they probably would have preferred the
Heat.
blacktop anyway.
And the thing
Henry the lab literally fell asleep like this. With his nose straight down, smushed to the concrete.
Really?
He was like
take
this.
a nap.
Yeah, it was just warm. It felt good. His nose was smushed into the blacktop.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And see, sometimes, not saying Kathy would, but sometimes people would think that's unfair to have the dogs lay on the blacktop on a 45 degree
It's not like that's where we make him sleep all day.
Yeah, but
It's
they're
just
not saying that
hard
she
for a
thinks
moment.
that. But some people wouldn't do that to their dog. They would go put it on the grass. You know, and so I think that's why some people let their dog sleep on the bed and the couch. So they don't have to lay on that hard carpeted floor.
You know? Last night, I did exactly what we're talking about. Scout was like all cozy, and I gave him a blanket, and he ate a hole in it. I think he thought I gave it to him
But you were
to chew on.
He's out or he just wanted to teach you that
Yeah.
he's not that.
He was totally fine, and I was
Not
like, "Oh, he's so cute and cozy. Let me give him this blanket to make him cozier." And he was
Well,
like,
you
"Thank
remember here a
you."
while back he made
Chew
Ryder a
on it.
freaking bed in his kennel with blankets and rolled up
I
blanket
didn't.
pillows.
I didn't.
Who did it?
I baby Ryder, but I'm not the
Who
one who
did it?
makes
Mariah
his
said it
bed.
wasn't her.
It was not me. No.
Brett?
I
Right.
my guess,
Was it you?
and I hope she's on
What did I
live.
do,
My
man?
guess is Heather. Heather has a blanket bed making for dogs problem.
I know.
I don't
It's
think
like,
Her dogs, her
I
dogs,
wonder why
no.
the electric bill's
Heather's
so
dogs'
high.
kennels are so stacked with blankets and pillows that I bet you the dog's head hits the top of the kennel. I hope she sees it. It's
I haven't
it's
seen it.
I
I know you're talking about her house, not here.
Yeah, it's at her
Because
house.
here I'd be throwing them all in the, laundry. Do more laundry.
Yeah.
But so.
And they have these big fluffy placemats. They're so cushy, and she puts a blanket on top of that. I hope she watches this.
Brett, you got anything?
Nope, not right now.
I bet you Heather's dog's beds are cozier than her kids' beds.
Maybe she does that so the dogs want to sleep in the bed instead of the kids' bed.
No, the dogs like their kennels. Her dogs
Yeah.
have very good structure in the house, so I'm not saying that her dog shouldn't have those things. It's just funny because they're stacked with blankets.
Sometimes it's just uncomfortable when you got that many kinks in your bed. So, what other subjects do you want to talk about?
That's it. Well,
We
that's
got
all I
bear
have.
sweatshirts here.
Yeah,
People need to let Brett know when they want to get them. We talked about
We're gonna
dogs
ship
relaxing at the river.
some will come pick up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did Suzanne order one?
I don't know.
Brett, she's gonna be here in a couple weeks. She'll be like, "Where's my sweatshirt?"
We got some extras.
She
Remember?
probably don't need one though. She lives in Southern California where it's 90 degrees all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably wants an umbrella with hair on it. Shady.
Whoa, there she is. What a coincidence.
Suzanne?
What a coincidence.
Talking about her. She's
You know,
so
I'm
good.
having a really hard time that Suzanne is going to be here when I'm not.
Well,
That was kind of mean that you did that.
what do you want to say?
I want both. I want to train with Suzanne, and I want to go to the grooming expo.
I want to win the lottery numbers, but I don't get them. I get Suzanne though.
What's wrong?
I'm pretty excited. Yeah, we just need dogs to train. We're good.
We're going to create a bunch of video content.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
We'll do all
Jess.
kinds. We're going to be on Facebook Live,
Jess.
podcast.
Yeah, I'll be like supposed to be listening to my grooming
Yeah.
classes, and I'll be like, "Oh man, Suzanne and Marvin are training."
Yeah.
Live on Facebook. Yeah,
We'll
man.
post all kind of video while you're slaving. We'll be training.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited for y'all though.
I am really
It's gonna be
excited. It's
fun.
going to be fun. Yeah.
Be professional groomers around here.
Mhm.
So
Try anyways.
yeah, I'll help if you need it.
If you saw the way I trimmed Lucas' feet up, you wouldn't have a whole lot of hope for me.
Or trim Finn's toenails when he's trying to eat you.
I thought that went pretty well.
Yeah, that's what I told the guy.
Yeah.
He only tried to eat you about 20 times. He only weighed
Yeah.
100 pounds, and he's only rode his ridgeback. So
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
He was just opinionated.
Well, I think he would have bit you a few times if he could have got to you.
That's why we had a muzzle on him.
Yeah, he's kind of not very happy about it, but
Yeah.
by the end he was done. What's the name, owner?
It was noisier than some dog nail trims we've done, but he wasn't as bad as some we've done.
What's the owner's name?
Adam.
Adam said, well, what did it take, like a foot or two, and he started being good? I said, no, like 19 toenails. He's like, man. I said, yeah, he's a little bit ornery about it. So, Brett, Suzanne, got any questions? We're going to bail us if you don't.
Yeah,
We're
that's
done
bad.
with them.
We'll
We're
be
gonna-
back next week.
Yeah, we're waiting for dinner, and I don't know where it's at.
No.
Next week or tomorrow.
I don't even smell dinner.
It's because it's
Outside.
outside.
Dinner's outside.
That's good. All right, then we're going to bail off here, Brett. We're good.
Yep, we're
Hey,
good.
thanks, everybody. Suzanne, I'm excited about seeing you. It's only going to be like a week or something. So thanks, everybody, for joining us.